Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us in FRC Media. I'm Keith Tebow. After a week off, we are back to speak with Mayor Paul Coogan for our weekly conversation. Mayor, how are you today?
Doing well, Keith. How about you?
Good. And we're a little later than normal because of an event that happened this morning that I want to start our discussion on. It was the groundbreaking ceremony for what will be a reconstruction of Route 79. That project is finally going to get started. And, this has been one of those things, Mayor, that's been a long time in coming, and another one of those things that is coming to fruition.
Right. It's so fulfilling to see what's going on that waterfront. It was talked about by Representative Fiola and what's gone on down there for the last 10 years. But this piece, this $135 million investment to free up 17 acres of land and create maybe some drivable bike path available, walking trails along the waterfront, making it a much more livable, pedestrian-centered area. It's really, really going to be special. You'll be able to hopefully, when all is said and done, you'll be able to live there, shop there, walk to the train to go to Boston, enjoy the water amenities as we build out along the waterfront with some more recreational stuff we're looking at. That's the goal, to make that a livable, huge section of the city, which of course will create jobs for people, whether it's during the construction or the build out after, and whatever else goes in there, whether it's retail, restaurants. It's really an unlimited potential. A number of people have looked at it. I had a big investor from Boston in here to talk about that whole strip. People have their eyes on Fall River and the waterfront and how far the city's coming and how fast it's moving, and they really like what we're doing down here. So that was really a real nice testament to all the work of everybody that had a piece of that. You look at what's going on down there, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to see that the waterfront is developing quickly. Whether it's the parks or the roads and what we're going to do, it's really going to be special.
And I know part of the event was also sort of saying goodbye to Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito. She was in the city today. This is one of her last public appearances, at least when it comes to transportation issues, before she and Governor Baker leave office in January. You gave her a key to the city, and you continue to say how important it was to work with both the governor and the lieutenant governor during your term.
Right. I mean, Charlie Baker was here like when I first got sworn in, but my relationship with those two, who are both tremendous leaders, kind of morphed into a relationship with Karen Polito. When I look back on the phone calls, and I knew enough to call her like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning before she got off spinning, when I had an issue with COVID, when I had an issue with the shutdown. What was the policy? What was the state looking at? And she always took my call. She always talked to me, and if we needed her down here for an event, she was always easy to work with. And I think the world of both of them. I think Charlie Baker is a tremendous leader, and I think Karen Polito is also just a natural leader. She's got a great personality. She knows how to work with people. She was also very complimentary to me at the event today, which makes you feel good, because you know that the impact she had on you had on her, and that's the way politics should be as we go forward. You build a relationship. That relationship is to serve the people of the city of Fall River and make it a better place to live. And she bought in 100% helping us, and I bought in 100% to on Karen Polito and Charlie Baker as excellent leaders for the Commonwealth, and I respect the heck out of both of them, and I know they're both going to be successful in whatever they do going forward.
Yeah. I want to actually go back to something a little almost 2 weeks ago now. We did not talk last week. Senator Elizabeth Warren was here with local EPA officials to give the city $14 million to purchase some clean school buses, as well as $10 million for replacing some of the lead water lines in Fall River. What will this do in terms of, some of the things you've tried to do, some of your priorities in terms of the environment?
It's going to fit in hand in glove, but I got to correct something you said,
Okay.
Keith. I think the buses were only about a little over 4 million. Not the 14 was the total of the buses and
Correct.
the lead pipes. I don't want someone thinking I'm hiding $10 million for lead buses, for lead pipes going to a bus. That'll be the next thing I hear. But to be fair, again, You look at, again, the relationships. It's all, I keep saying again, because it's so important to build these relationships with our elected leaders, whether it's our legislature, federal or state. Liz Warren, nice enough to come down. Markey was supposed to come with her. The scheduling got a little confused, so she came and represented the federal delegation along with our Congressman Jake Auchincloss. We had a $20+ million headache with lead pipe, and the state was all over us, the DEP, about removing these pipes from the middle of the road right onto the personal property of our property owners in Fall River and right to the service in the house. So we went back and forth. We went back and forth with them. We negotiated a settlement. And while we were doing that, we were filling out our applications with the EPA to try to get some of this lead pipe remediation money. If you look at the money we got in Fall River, I think we got one of the top awards in the country. When you look at what a big city like Detroit got $5 million and Fall River got $10 million, then the gods are smiling on us somewhere, because this money will go a long way to alleviate the lead pipe issue in Fall River going forward. And it's going to be something that'll allow us to work with our residents and save them a bill on the part from the sidewalk into the house. As far as the buses go, this is all experimental to me. I looked at that motor out there, and I couldn't believe how a small luggage size piece of electrical equipment would run that bus, but it does. We're going to go for another grant to get some more buses. We also are going to be announcing another grant for some infrastructure related to buses. This is our first steps on working with our vendors, whether it's Whaling City, Amaral, or Tremblay, to try to get our school transportation costs under control. This is also going to help the environment immensely. We'll get, I think it's 11 old buses off the streets, replaced with electric buses, and we'll use those to transport the kids. I think it's a gift for the city of Fall River. When you look at the grants we're getting now, we're as important as any city in the Commonwealth, and I'd like to think it's our legislators and our federal leaders, as well as our municipal government, that keeps pushing to get more for our people.
Yeah, and obviously this also plays well into, as you mentioned, it's a big headache. That the lead pipe removal is a big headache for the city, not only for the homeowners but also the taxpayers in general. And this will help in terms of stabilizing water and sewer fees as these issues keep coming up, and the city has to bond for these projects. Is there any possibility? I know Senator Warren said that may only be the beginning. Any possibility to get any more federal funds for these types of projects?
Oh, absolutely. I was looking at some funds, an EPA grant this morning to deal with trash. So there's more EPA grant funding out there available, and we will keep our foot on the gas as far as trying to get as much money as we can into Fall River. As I've said a number of times, when people hear a number like, "Oh, look, the city's getting $10 million," but do you know that the $10 million is going to go to plumbers, laborers, steam fitters, people that make the pipe? This is how an economy functions. As that money is rolled into the economy, it allows our homeowners to have more money to spend on groceries, a TV, a vacation. It's a cycle, and it triggers the economy to make everybody a little better off with a better place to live. It's not, they say, oh, the grants are this, or they're getting the grants automatically. No, we're not. We're working hard to get these grants, to give people an opportunity to work, to help our homeowners, and to help our taxpayers. We wouldn't it be great if we lived in a place where there was no taxes? But that's not going to happen. But these grants and these monies from both the federal and the state level help to reduce expenses on the city side, so we can keep taxes under control.
Yeah. All right, this is going to be our last get together for 2022. A couple of final questions. What does the Coogan family do on the holiday?
Sleep. We sleep a lot. We'll go to bed at 7 at night and wake up 3 days later. It's just a catch up time for me. It's we'll visit with some friends and family, and we'll do the typical things. But we do pretty much have a low-key Christmas now. I think that's important also. But I do want everybody to know, I wish everybody a happy, healthy holiday, Merry Christmas, all the things important. Spend some time with your family, have a few laughs, unwind. We're almost ready for 2023, and it's coming quick, and we're going to roll right into it. I wish everybody a safe and happy New Year.
All right. With that said, good way to end. Mayor Coogan, thank you for your time all during 2022. We'll continue in 2023. Happy holidays to you and yours, and we'll talk again soon.
Okay. Thank you, Keith. Good luck, everybody.
All right. Take care. And thank you for joining us here at FRC Media. I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great week.